Professor Lejeune has agreed to take some questions. Because we're taping this, if you wouldn't mind coming to the microphone to ask the question, that way it'll be on tape and it also will, people in the back will be able to hear.
I have an article from the yesterday's Washington Times which talks about human embryos being cloned at GW, and I was just interested in your response to that. I wanted to read only one quote from Arthur Kaplan, the director of the Center of Biomedical Ethics at the University of Minnesota, in which he says that this news is staggering in terms of its ethical implications. And I was most interested in your response to this breakthrough.
Well, it's no breakthrough whatsoever. It's a very ordinary trick that they have played because the breakthrough has been obtained long time ago in sheep, in cattle, and in Lejeune, caprins, goats. That the splitting of an embryo to make two embryos is a very relatively simple trick. And what is the only thing which is new is that now they are playing with little human beings as if they were animals. That's this regression which is a novelty, not at all the achievement, which is very simple. Now, I will like to develop that beginning of life and those manipulations in two other talks, so I would not give a long answer, but I would just, my first answer would be, it's a symptoms of a very severe disease, a disease of intelligence.
Excuse me, doctor. This is Dr. Edward Sweeney. He's a retired dentist, and he's legally blind. He has a question.
Yeah?
Thank you. There has been, since 1985, a series of articles, first in Newsweek, later in Time and U.S. World News, about a discovery by Stanford University, Emory, and I can't offhand remember the other universities, stating that by the study of the placentas after birth of women, of various races of women, that in specifically identifying, studying the mitochondria, the DNA in the mitochondria, that they state that they have found that the mitochondria, regardless of what race, that the mitochondria is the same. For some reason, the mitochondria DNA doesn't change. This is what they're stating, and they say that as a result, that they have been able to identify that we all came from a same identical woman approximately 25 to 100,000 years ago, and it was a black woman.
Yeah.
Is there any truth to this? Is this...
Well, it's a very interesting point that mitochondria's DNA can be recognized rather easily and can be typified rather easily. And the demonstration is first that the DNA of an individual, of the mitochondrial DNA of an individual, is coming only from mother. That is, most of mitochondria, which were still on the sperm, but on the intermediate piece, were not coming in at the moment of fecundation, so that all the DNA of the mitochondria coming from father was not reaching the egg, so that we receive only the mitochondria coming from mother. That's the first point. Because if there was mixture between the two lots, you could not do the reasoning that you were talking about. Now, the second reasoning was that because there is no reshuffling between male and female DNA inside the mitochondria, then the change is only related to some mutation changes. And you can study the mitochondria of different human races. And you can find that they look at each other when they are looking as belonging to the same family, but people from the same village have more similar mitochondrial DNA than people from different islands or different continents. And then they came to the conclusion, which seems to be correct, that all the mitochondria now existing in any human being are coming from a primitive mother of mankind. That is reduction to the beginning, and it is acceptable. Now, when they say that she was black, the color is not written on the mitochondria, so they do not know that. What they said is that actually the population who looks to be the less diversified compared to all the other population are the population of Central Africa. So that they suppose they are closer to the original model. But that is not proved at all, because you can build the tree on a different way by a different system fitted on the computer and come with the answer that Eva was white or yellow. Those are not really scientifically acceptable conclusion. What can be accepted is that we are carrying the same mitochondria, and the simplest explanation is that there was only one woman at the origin of the actual mankind, which is, let's say, a kind of way of telling the same story as the one I was telling with the X and the Y chromosome. For the moment, as far as we know in genetics, there is no other trick to explain this extraordinary phenomenon that we are than we have born from one unique couple. Now, how this couple was produced, that is an open question.
Thank you.